want just anyone's heart. I don't want my love to go to waste. I want you.
He's gorgeous. He's a great singer.
I know that you are something special. To you, I'd be always faithful. I want to be what you always needed. Then I hope you see the heart in me.
McCartney was a child performer dynamo. At the age 2 he began singing, and at school he learned the saxophone. Jesse seemed as he was destined to be a star. For lots of us, auditioning is always scary, but for Jesse, auditioning was never nerve-wracking. His first professional acting audition happened when he was 9 and a half. He was asked to do an English accent for the part of Louis in The King and I. He'd already done a run of Oliver in community theatre with an English accent, so he nailed it and got the part. Is this how it all started for Jesse? Was music and acting all he wanted to do when he was younger?
I was kind of just engulfed in music and acting, and mostly theater, actually. Theater's where I got most of my training. And my first role was when I was 7. I performed on stage in a community theater in my hometown with my family. And it was fun. I had a great time. I did that for a few years. And I had a great time because I loved the spotlight, and I loved showing off, and I loved to get the audience to clap at the end of every number. It was about entertaining for me, so I had a great time.
He then got his big break when he landed an acting gig on Broadway. By 11 years old, in 1998 to 2001, McCartney appeared on daytime television soap opera All My Children, and earned 2 nominations for Outstanding Younger Actor. So from acting to music, he joined his first band Dream Street, that went platinum with a self-titled debut, although a messy ending saw the demise of Dream Street. What was it like being involved with music and acting at such a young age?
Well, you know, it's funny because I had just started the soap opera, or I'd been kind of a year in when I booked a fifth of, you know, one of the guys in the group. And it was actually, at first they were starting to conflict with each other, and some of the guys were getting kind of pissed off. But you know, I mean, it's the only difference was that, and to be honest, it's so long ago that I kind of have a hard time remembering. But I just remember it being as crazy as life is now for me, which, you know, I was in the middle of school. I was like in 8th grade, 7th or 8th grade then, and I just remember every day after school going into the city. The soap opera would start shooting my scenes after school, so I wouldn't miss school, which was great. But then after the soap, I'd have to go to rehearsals from like 7 to like midnight every night, and then have to get up every morning and do school. And you know, sometimes my grades were suffering, sometimes I couldn't get my homework done. So I just remember being very chaotic, but I loved both of them so much, and I knew it's what I was going to do. As much as school and education is important, and I'd love to go back, you know, I was kind of, this is my thing.
Dream Street were a huge band, and had a magazine and even a day named after them. But this all came to a rapid end as they dismembered and went their separate ways. Dream Street felt they'd been unfairly treated and ended up suing their producers. Jesse then started contributing his music to films like Cinderella and working on solo stuff. So was this the ultimate aim for him?
Not at first. I think I was very depressed and actually really kind of alone. I didn't really talk to anybody. I was very bitter about the whole thing because it wasn't our fault, and we kind of got screwed, and I was very naive, and it kind of grew me up pretty quick, and made me very kind of build up this wall to everybody, until we decided, you know, later on, you know, what if I did my own thing? I'd have control. I'd be able to say what I'm going to do, and this is how it's going to be, and we did, and it took 2 or 3 years to actually the whole process, you know, with a few other people who were creating this thing. But you know, at first I wanted to go back to school, wanted to continue playing ball in school, and I did for a couple of years until we decided to make the solo move.
McCartney then made a return to acting with a role on the hit teen drama Summerland. They finished up work on his first solo full-length album called Beautiful Soul. There are often a whole lot of preconceptions being an actor and a singer, so did Jesse feel the pressure on this album?
just because I'm always my worst critic, and I will always, you know, criticize everything I do to a T. I mean, I'm a perfectionist, and I have to have everything the way it's supposed to be in my head, and it actually drives a lot of people nuts sometimes. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what I would have done if this album had failed. I mean, it would have been a huge blow for me, since I put so much time, effort, sweat, and tears, you know, 3 years of my life into something, and or mainly 2 years. But it, you know, I'm so relieved, and you know, once I got the gold and then the platinum, it was just like, my goal was for the platinum record, and that was the main goal, and I was just so thankful and blessed. You know, I just really felt blessed. It was my time, and I really felt like I had worked hard and put enough time in to earn something like that.
Jesse also put his writing skills to the test by co-writing 4 of the tracks of his debut. How did he define this album? Does he feel he connects better to the songs that he had written more than the other songs on the album?
Oh no, absolutely, absolutely. And for the second record, I'll be writing every track. I'll be on every track. More or less, in the first record, I didn't know what I was sounding like. I didn't know what I was going to sound like, and I had writers sending me stuff left and right that I couldn't help but think was great, because some of them were, like Beautiful Soul, for instance, which, man, I wish I wrote. I'd be good right now. And it's a great track, but it was the first song I'd ever even heard. First demo I listened to for when I decided to go into it, became the first single. But stuff like that started happening, and eventually, by like a year and a half in, when I first moved to LA, I was like, wait, you know, I want to be part of this. I gotta be. It's not what I'm not doing another Dream Street thing. I gotta sit down and start writing, and I did, and I wrote with some great writers, and that's when She's No You came along, and that was then Get Your Shine On. One other, what's your name? And I sat there, and it felt great, man, just writing stuff down and coming up with the melody line, and sitting down and playing a few chords. And certainly for the next record, I'll be on every track.
Jesse's favourite artists seem to range across the whole music spectrum, liking artists such as UK R&B sensation Craig David, to heavy rockers Linkin Park, to the timeless James Taylor and the Beatles. With such a diverse music taste, who influenced Jesse most on his solo debut?
You know, style, you know, as far as style goes, it gave me different stylistic views, you know, for making a record and what I wanted to sound like. And I definitely wanted a rhythmic album, a very fast, upbeat, a lot of words. She's No You, that was then. A lot of words, a lot of listening. You got to be in tune to what's going on, and very melodic stuff as well, which is very much Craig David and Linkin Park. I really like and enjoy that. I don't think they were influenced for the record, but stuff like Justin and just everything that he did was very melodic and very. A lot of it was up tempo. It was just an energetic. Both of them were energetic records, so I think that's, you know, the biggest influence they had on me.